thank you so much for joining us. I am so excited. We've got Sims Thomas here from Toyota from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yes, that's where I live now.
I love that.
I do too.
That's pretty amazing. Do you like Knoxville?
I do. Knoxville is the best of everything because you have all 4 seasons. You have football. You have the University of Tennessee. You have lakes and mountains in which to hike. And even though you are landlocked, you can still get to the beach in about 6.5 hours.
That's not a terrible travel, especially when you're in a Toyota.
Oh, absolutely. Just about any Toyota you would want to drive in Knoxville, you're going to be able to take the mountain roads, or you're going to be able to get excellent gas mileage if, say, you want to go from Knoxville to Memphis, which is roughly about 500 miles. So you can find plenty of Toyotas to give you excellent fuel economy.
I actually like Tennessee. I think it's very nice. I've been to Memphis and Nashville.
All right. Tennessee's kind of divided into 3 different states. You have the eastern part, which is the mountains and Smoky Mountains, Dollywood, Pigeon Forge. And then you have Middle Tennessee, more agricultural, but you also have Music City, Nashville, huge, great little big city. And then you have Memphis, which is more of the Delta, and your blues and your Elvis and all of that along the Mississippi.
And you've lived other places. You lived in L.A. for a while.
I did. I lived in L.A. almost 20 years, and that's how I formed my relationship with Toyota and Productions Plus.
How did you get into the car business?
Well, someone had told me about a job with a company called Productions Plus.
Okay.
And at that time, what they do is supply the talent to speak at the auto shows.
Sure.
But I had never been to an auto show. So I sent in an audition tape of me doing a script and went and interviewed, got the job, and this is going on my 18th year of doing this. So I went to my first auto show, which happened to be in Anaheim, California.
Sure.
And I walked in, and it's like, what are all these other manufacturers doing here? Oh, we have all of our Toyotas here? I really did not have a clear understanding of what I was doing, but I love the job.
And do you love cars?
I do.
Did you always love cars, or did you grow to love cars?
I loved cars, particularly cars I drove and selected, and just never had the knowledge that I do now on cars. And I have grown to love cars and appreciate cars, I should say.
Do you like classic cars too?
I do. Yeah. I do. I had a Datsun 280ZX.
You did?
T-top, beautiful burgundy interior, champagne on the outside.
Wow.
It was hot.
I like that. Yeah. That was an awesome car.
It was.
And one of the cars that I've always liked is, I don't even know what it really is. It was the Toyota in Back to the Future that Michael J. Fox.
The Supra.
It was the truck.
Oh, the truck. Well, we had Back to the Future in the 80s. We had a Toyota truck.
Yeah, it was a 4x4. It had the light bar, the Nerf bars, the brush guard in the front. This thing was all hopped up, and they had it. He wanted it at the end. Biff, at the end of the first one, Biff is waxing it for him.
It's got to be. I wonder if it was, and I don't remember the movie, so maybe we can look it up. But
I'm going to see if
it might have been a 4Runner.
Was it back? No, well, 4Runner.
Or Land Cruiser?
No, because it was a pickup.
Oh, well, maybe it was just the Toyota truck. We had a T100, but that was after just our Toyota pickup truck.
All right,
we
hopefully
always had
somebody's going
a
to help
Toyota
us
truck,
with this.
and then we had the T100, and then we went to the Tundra. But that would have been 1999
right,
that we had the Tundra.
Like
so
80,
you're talking
85.
about 80s. It's just the Toyota truck.
Okay, it was just the Toyota truck.
That's
why I don't know the name. It was just the Toyota pickup truck.
It was a Toyota truck.
I love that truck.
Yeah.
That truck is amazing. And
Absolutely.
the one thing about Toyotas is you really can never kill them. You can drive them forever. You see people have 200, 300,000 miles on them. Now, we did CES. We did live coverage of CES, and we couldn't figure out what to rent because we could fit all our gear in. Guess what we rented?
A Sequoia or a minivan or a
Sienna.
Yeah.
A Sienna. It all fit in the Sienna. The Sienna was amazing, and the doors open.
Exactly.
I don't like minivans. I love this thing. I wanted to drive it home.
It's the swagger wagon.
Yeah.
You know, you can still look cool. You can be a dad and be in a minivan, but you're so cool.
The one you have here is awesome.
It's
Leather
beautiful.
seats. You've got burl wood, the navigation, the entertainment system, the captain's chairs, the third row.
It absolutely suits all families because you can have one child, 2, 3. You can get it for 7 passengers or 8 passengers. Something I really even like on the, they have it on the Sienna and they also have it on the Highlander. It's called Easy Speak. And say I am in the driver's seat and I'm driving and I have a child in the 3rd row and they're just pestering each other. They're like, pinching each other. As a mom, I can engage and there's a microphone in the console, upper console, and I can say, Johnny, please stop pinching your sister. I don't have to yell it. I don't have to raise my voice, but it is amplified
Now,
through the back. It's called Easy Speak.
I think my wife would like that a lot.
It's great. It's a wonderful feature.
And we only have one child. His name is Jack, and I think that she'd like that a lot. But is it like in a plane where it will interrupt their movie if they're watching something?
Yes.
It will.
Yes, and it's like, please stop doing that.
That's
and then
that's
you
excellent.
can have you do not raise your voice, you do not change anything but the way I'm speaking
We
with
should
you.
have a Toyota minivan to do a show live out of. Like we could do a spring training tour, and then Peter could use that feature to talk to me instead of talking to me in my ear, he could just say, we got to go to commercial.
Exactly. This is like a brainstorming session.
Yeah.
Now we're getting somewhere. They take the Sienna and they trick it out. Different companies do.
Yeah.
We have the DJ Sienna, and it has these enormous speakers where you can have a pure DJ experience.
I imagine that's big at SEMA.
Oh, yeah, it
Okay.
is. We actually have had it at a couple of our even smaller shows. We had it in Portland, Oregon, which was great. We have the Swagger Wagon. We've taken Siennas and had televisions put in them, all kinds of things. We also have we have Siennas with different wraps on them.
Wow. We need a BeTerrific broadcast Sienna.
Yeah,
Let's
do that.
We should.
That would be terrific.
That would be amazing.
Yes.
So is it hard knowing all the cars and all the data, and then it changes all the time, and coming to these shows and doing what you do? Is that hard?
It is hard. It can be daunting, but we have excellent training, and you are asked oftentimes the very same question, and your brain just has that ability to go, oh, I can spit that out. That's 189.6 inches, for the length of something. Or
do people actually measure their garage? Is that why they're asking?
Sure, and it's very important for them to know, because as cars have gotten bigger or SUVs have gotten bigger, can I get that upgrade? This is all the space that I have. Or if it's too wide, and particularly in a city like New York or Los Angeles where parking is difficult, and you're going to want something that has retractable foldable side mirrors. People want to know that. They want to know how wide it is because of their garage. Am I going to have room to pull in and not have to put the mirrors in and be able to park, get out comfortably?
Right, and that's one of the features that's really nice. But Toyota has a lot of great features in the cars. By the way, Ben says he'd like to test a Tacoma for you guys. He'd volunteer to do that.
Oh, awesome! We have a new Tacoma coming out, 2016. It will start arriving fall, but it was debuted in Detroit, and it's our brand new overview. Something that's very cool in the new Tacoma. And I know this doesn't have anything to do with what's underneath the hood, because the stance is great and all of that. But it's the GoPro mount is standard on all of the new Tacomas, which I thought was pretty cool.
There's a GoPro mount in the car.
Yes, and it's standard.
That's amazing. So in your 280Z, right? Did you have a CB? That was a
Yes.
You did.
Well, I take that back. I did not. I had a CB in a car prior to that.
Which was that?
Which was the first CB I had was an old car, and it was a Ford Maverick.
Okay. Sure.
With 3 on the column, right there on the tree. Three on the tree.
And you had a CB.
Yes.
What was your handle?
A little bit.
We're
going back some time here.
10-4.
Yeah, 10-4, buddy.
I like it. So now we've gone from putting CBs in cars as the kind of cool feature that maybe made you want one car over another. Now we're putting GoPros in it, and I like that idea a lot. The Tacoma's awesome. I'm kind of more a 4Runner kind of guy. I think I've always liked that car. I love the old Land Cruisers. I love the FJ.
Yeah, we don't make the FJ any longer. You can still find it.
But
2014 was the last year.
I love it, but I really love the old FJs.
Oh yeah,
and
old school.
Yes, but I love the new one that is now discontinued. I love as well. And by the way, I think that we found in Europe or in the rest of the world, it was the 1985 Toyota Helix.
Helix.
You knew that?
Yeah, the Helix.
What, you were about to say it. Wow.
Right. Well, I didn't know that when you said Europe, I said, oh, Helix.
Right. So Digital Phil found that. So thank you,
Thank
Digital
you.
Phil. And that's awesome. So you guys also have the Vienna, right?
The Sienna?
The Venza.
Oh, the Venza, yes.
The Venza. That's how you pronounce it?
Venza.
The Venza, which it's kind of a cross between the Sienna and an SUV, and it's really nice as well.
It's about 70% car,
Okay.
30% SUV. It has you're up about 4 inches from what you would be, say, a Camry, but you're down about 4 inches as far as sightline, Toyota iPoint.
Sure.
So it's kind of like meets in the middle from a SUV to a sedan, a car. But you have the flexibility of having a lot of cargo space in the back because it is a 5-seater, but when you put down those middle seats, which they lie down flat, you have this nice cargo area. You can also, it's a 60/40, so you can put down one side and not the other, both sides, etc. So you have some options, a lot of versatility in the in the Venza.
Wow. That's it is very nice. And then, of course, you've got the RAV4, you've got the Camry, the Corolla.
Yeah.
You guys have a full lineup, and now the FT1, right?
Yeah, the FT1, a couple of things. The FT1.
It's a concept.
It's a concept. We brought it here last year. It's been going along the circuit of various auto shows because people are really loving it. One of the number one questions we get at every auto show is, where's the Supra? Now, the Supra, we haven't brought the Supra into the U.S. since 1998, but the FT1 is a little bit of a nod, a tip to our heritage, a little touch of the GT, the Celica, the MR2, the Supra, kind of all rolled up into one. If you could design whatever type of sports car you might want, this would be it.
Do you think it will be made?
Well, I know we're coming out with something in the near future as far as a sport car. I hope I can be like everyone else. I certainly hope that when they do the reveal, it's like, yes, they did it.
Because that's a beautiful car.
It's a beautiful car. Very aerodynamic, very jet in the cockpit type thing, racing formula, the Formula One, the whole thing.
I desire it. Like, I see it and I desire it. I want that car. And I'll be honest, I didn't want a Supra. They were very cool. I had a friend who had one. But I didn't want one. To me, the wing was too silly. That huge wing. And of course, actually, I say that about the Supra in the late 90s, but earlier Supras I actually did like.
They were pretty, yes.
And my grandfather in like 85 or 86 had a brown Supra, which it was really cool. It was my grandfather who was driving a Supra.
And you're like, it took you a long time to appreciate that. You look back and went, wow, that was my grandfather, and he drove a Supra.
Yes, it was amazing. It was pretty cool.
Well, we were talking about the Supra, but you had also mentioned the RAV4. Now, tomorrow we are unveiling our hybrid RAV4. So that's a big news for us.
That's pretty cool. Tell me about that.
Well, don't know really anything because
you got to know something.
I know that it's here at New York. We just found out last week what our reveal was going to be.
Okay.
You can go to toyotanewsroom.com.
You guys
after 12:30 tomorrow, when the press conference takes place. After that, all of the information.
Can you come back after to tell us about it?
Sure, I'd be glad to.
Will you come back tomorrow afterwards,
absolutely.
please?
Yeah.
All right. And you guys have been a leader in hybrid technology with the Prius.
Absolutely.
And it's evolved into there's a hybrid Camry.
We have a Prius family.
And a Highlander.
Yes, we have the Avalon is a hybrid.
I didn't know
the
that.
The Camry is a hybrid. The Highlander is a hybrid. And then we have a Prius family. We have the Prius, which is our third generation Prius. We have a Prius C, which is small, starts at right at under $20,000. We have the Prius V, and the V stands for versatility. It too has an enormous amount of cargo space, a lot of versatility as far as putting one seat down or the other. And then we have the Prius plug-in.
I like the idea of the Prius plug-in. I really like that. That gives you, as far as I know, that gives you the ability to maybe drive completely on electricity without having to use gas.
It does. You have about 11 miles that you can select and go purely on electric, and that gives the equivalent when you're going gallons to gallons, etc. in conversions. It's a 95 miles per gallon equivalent if you're on the Prius plug-in, and then you can switch it over how you want it. And then after the electric is used, well, voila, you're then on our regular hybrid Synergy drive system along with your gasoline engine, and you're getting 50 miles to the gallon.
I live in Fort Lee, New Jersey, about 12 miles from right here. I could literally drive almost all the way here.
Yes.
Charge it, and drive almost all the way home.
And you would not get to know the people at your gas station.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I'm dying for that. I really am.
You're the perfect type of person, that market. That's that niche. That would be perfect for a Prius
it would
plug-in.
be perfect. I would like that. I hate having a gas bill.
And we also are coming out with something that's interesting too, Michael, is our Mirai, and that's hydrogen fuel cell, and that'll be out in California in September.
What's the deal with hydrogen fuel cell? To me, I always am like, I don't know. I like electric. I don't know if I'd like hydrogen.
Well, again, I think it's going to be something, it's new, it's innovative, it's another alternative that we're offering, and in California, the infrastructure is there. So we'll see.
All
you
right.
know, it's a beautiful car, and gets about 300 miles on your hydrogen fuel tank. So
Wow.
we'll see how it goes. And
Wow.
you can check it out here at the show.
I'm going to check it out. This is what I'm going to do. Later, I'm going to come to the booth and check that out.
All right.
And you're going to come back tomorrow to tell
I'll
us
come back.
about the hybrid.
Okay.
And I'm excited about that. And I like the Highlander, by the way. A friend of mine, Josh Apter, who is the creator of the Padcaster, and they're featured in Apple's commercials and stuff. He has one. I've driven it, and it's awesome.
It is. Maybe tomorrow we'll talk more about it. The Highlander has different trim levels that sort of fit every one of what you might want in a Highlander, be it the bench seats in the middle or the captain seats, leather, cloth, a 4-cylinder, a 6-cylinder, a 2-wheel drive, a 4-wheel drive.
You know your stuff.
It's just whatever you might want, you can find it in the Highlander, and yet it's on a car chassis, but it's an SUV.
Yeah. Let's bring you back tomorrow. We'll talk
right.
about that. We'll
right.
talk about the announcement,
RAV4, okay.
and I want to talk about safety features because those are really
Awesome.
important. And you guys are so focused on safety features. And I did that Oculus Rift thing. I've already talked about it. We can go full into it
Okay.
Tomorrow. That was an amazing experience as well. Having a crash test dummy drive me without ever leaving here, but really feeling like I was moving.
I did it this morning,
Yeah.
and it is awesome. And anyone can do that comes to the show this week.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's April 3rd to the 12th,
Yes.
open to the public. You got to come check it out. This is the New York International Auto Show. She's got the right name to be in New York, Sims. Anybody who's a New York fan, sports fan at all, Phil Sims, that's Sims Thomas. She'll be back tomorrow to talk a whole lot more about Toyota, break some news here on BeTerrific's live continuing coverage of the 2015 New York International Auto Show. I'm Michael Artis. Don't go anywhere. We have a lot more for you right after this commercial break. Stay with us.